Welcome back, everybody. It's your pal Orange Eye here to bring you another video. Last week we did monster horror as part of the theme streams. Now we are on episode 46, which is slasher horror. Now, folks, this one is indeed one of the more entertaining discussions that I'm going to have because slasher horrors, man, when they came out or when they started making a splash, parents and stuff were starting to lose their freaking minds. Even politics was getting involved. There were news organizations talking to all these people, like, "What the hell are you trying to do to our kids and whatnot?" How did you do, Jet Sparks? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And so many things. So before I get started, though, with those discussions about the certain movies and how I have some thoughts on them. I want to say a big shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you so far to getting me to 1550. We just need to get a little bit further to 2025 by the year 2025. If we could do that, then yeah, it'll be totally worth it. Also, tonight on the Barroom Podcast, I'm going to be on Society Reviews channel at 9 p.m. Wednesday on Jade Shadow's channel at 8:30, we are discussing Mad Max. Mad Max 2, that is. The second one, part of the ones and twos. Thursday is Last Voyage of the Demeter, exclusively on X at 8:30. Friday is Orange Hat Uncensored. And Sunday is the weekly recap with me and Ambassador from Ambassadorial Wing this time. And then Monday is going to be Monday Night Rants. It's now at 9 p.m. because Odin moved his Tuesday streams to Monday. So, yep. And then next Tuesday, or at the end of this stream, I'm going to let you guys know what the next horror genre is going to be. So, yeah. We got a lot of different ones. I mean, slasher horror, folks, is the ones with serial killers that go around killing people. And when you think slasher horror, you usually think like Jason Voorhees, right? Yeah. But the original one, obviously, the original slasher horror definitely goes to Psycho or something similar to it, because Psycho was the one that really started to scare people. I mean, that's when Alfred Hitchcock really started settling in on the horror, making his mark. And we also got people like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Leatherface. I mean, all of them are basically doing the same damn thing. And Ghostface. And one of my favorites, Ben Willis. But then again, there's also the Miner from My Bloody Valentine. Now, the thing that all these movies have in common is there is essentially a very unique, or these killers all have very creative ways of killing. They don't just take one specific item and kill people. While yes, Jason is known for his machete, he has killed people in all sorts of different ways. Now, I'm not going to show any clips or anything, folks. I can't do that. I will get struck off of YouTube if I do. I already got a warning on my channel. I don't need any more. So I am playing it safe. But yes, I mean, the only consistent killer I do believe was Leatherface with his chainsaw. However, I could be wrong. I have never really seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Another very rather consistent killer is Ben Willis from I Know What You Did Last Summer films. He used the hook a lot more than anything else, mainly because after the first movie, he lost his hand, and so he got a humongous fish hook to continue his fisherman killing. Ghostface, most of the time, always used his knife, true, but he made good use of it. or she, because there were female killers and whatnot. I mean, the Scream movies, first two, great stuff. Second one was a bit stepped down. Third one was hit and miss. The first one, good movie though. When it came to, oh, hold on, I accidentally dragged freaking Ghostface down somewhere. But yeah, or the first one though, that was peak. When it came to I Know What You Did Last Summer, though, folks, that movie was good because it's like, holy crap, we just killed a person. We don't speak of it. Well, then somebody came along that you actually did hit. And, well, yeah, he became the serial killer. And he started slaughtering people until, well, holy crap, they finally find out. That was actually a better movie than most people give it credit for. The Jason movies, I watched the Jason movies, all 8 of them, plus the newer one. The newer one is a lot better than most of the old ones because honestly, the newer redone one, like in the 2010s, you had a Jason that wasn't the zombie that everybody knew after he died and got electrocuted and became a freaking zombie. Where originally he was just a kid that was bullied, that was drowned. His mother went on a killing spree. Then he eventually found his ma's decapitated body. He was a mongoloid. He was a little mongoloid kid, and he eventually started becoming a killer and whatnot. But these movies all had one interesting element. They all had original kills. I mean, even Freddy Krueger, when you're a killer or when you have a killer who is in a dreamscape, who kills you in your dreams, it gets pretty freaking original in there, man. You are sure he'll use his glove and whatnot to go after you, but how do you survive very long when the killer comes after you hard in your dreams, man? When you go to sleep, he's there ready to kill you. So it's insane. I mean, as much as people give crap to the Friday or the Nightmare on Elm Street remake with what's his name that played Rorschach, I do believe that they actually made him a lot a lot better in way of killing, because they killed the character, or they made the character extremely brutal. They were bringing back the horror element instead of the campy, funny bit of that was Robert Englund. Now, don't get me wrong, folks. Robert Englund is indeed the better Freddy Krueger. However, what's his name? I can't even remember his name. The guy that played the remade Freddy Krueger, I believe that he had a ferocity that was a lot more psychotic, a lot more aggressive. His aggression factor was a lot better, you know? Freddy's claw hand and his unholy ability to attack you and kill you in your dreams is truly insidious. Yes, it really does make a person wonder. It's like, I mean, I remember when I was younger, right? I had a couple of dreams where Freddy was chasing me, man. And it's like, holy crap, dude. But I would always wake up because I understood it is only a dream. He comes from movies. He ain't going to hurt me. But yeah, there are times when you are dreaming that I mean, on a personal note, folks, I've had a dream where I felt that there was just a very evil presence around. So I had to force myself awake just to get out of that dream. And it just really, it was one of the more frightening aspects of my life. And then I tried going back to sleep, but then it was right back into that same dream, which was weird. So feeling that incredible evil feeling, I woke up again, and it's like, yeah, I might sleep with a cross next to my bed for a little while. But yeah, Freddy Krueger, man, he's not one to mess with, because he gets killed in several different ways, and they're kind of running out of ways to kill him. So how do you kill somebody who can die in a million different ways and just keep on coming? You know? I mean, I do like the Nightmare on Elm Street movies and Robert Englund. I mean, his campiness is very good. They kill you or they kill him in so many different ways, and it's like, what will it take to finally put him down? You know, I mean, even Freddy's Dead didn't work. I mean, you had Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, or A New Nightmare, rather, after Freddy's Dead, rather, and it's like, what the frig, man? You guys killed him off, and so Nancy has to put him down again. What the hell, you know? And then you have Jason Voorhees. Dude just keeps coming. He's like a zombie great white shark that can come on land. Except that he's not eating you all the time. He's doing all sorts of stuff. The great thing about him, he's an opportunistic killer. I posted it on Facebook and Twitter, dude, that I was going live early. I had to go live early because of things outside of my control. So, yeah. Sorry, Vaughn, you got to pay attention more. But as I was saying, Jason Voorhees, he just keeps coming. You could shoot him, or after he becomes a zombie, you could shoot him. You can blow him up. I mean, Freddy or Jason Goes to Hell the Final Friday. They freaking blow his ass up, but he's still freaking alive because he's a little weird minion demon thing that has to sneak up the orifice of one of his dead relatives. It was fucking weird. But the aspect of Jason Voorhees was really what got people pissed off in the media. And they were like, what is this message that you are trying to send to kids? We ain't trying to send a message, man. I mean, if anything, we're actually trying to be positive if there is a message. Don't do drugs. Don't have premarital sex. Don't go out and smoke weed. And don't smoke and do drugs. Because most of those people are the ones that are dying in the horror movies, you know? In the slasher movies, because you never know when some fucking psycho's going to come by and just to start cutting you up, you know? And that is actually, there were all those interviews, because there was that interview. If you watch Jason X, if you have like the DVD, they show you like horror through the years and how horror had influenced culture and society. And with the rise of slashers, yeah, people were like, oh my God, these are creative artistic elements. Sure. Creative kills. I mean, you have the miner who's using the pickaxe in very creative ways, like right up through the chin, pulling it out. It's like, holy crap, man. I mean, Jason Voorhees kills people in some of the most god-awful yet also original manners. I mean, in Jason X, I love what they say about the guy that fell on the giant drill bit. He's screwed. Yeah, right? And everybody has seen Jason kill other people, like, with all sorts of things, but they never saw a neck snap. So when he grabs dude and I love how he just slowly snaps the dude's neck, turning it all the way around. It's like, oh, damn, man. But then you got the one that comes out in Freddy versus Jason. I mean, good and all, but it's like, really? Invite only, corn poke, and you weren't. Son of a bitch. Creative kills, don't get me wrong. I love that, dude. He just snaps the dude's head all clean around and just pokes his body. And one of the things I like about that, Jason, he runs. He runs in that one. And also he does in the reboot that they did too with the killer cut. I like the killer cut better. The theatrical movie is all right, but the killer cut's better because, you know, I like the way that he gets the mask in that version other than the killer cut or other than the theatrical. But yeah, they did so. Or another good one was the My Bloody Valentine plus the remake. I mean, me and Mara did the original versus remake for her 1s and 2s on that one, And I gotta say that the remake actually was a lot better. It actually more tonally made sense with the switch of who the killer was instead of the killer being the other one instead. And it's like, oh shit, man. I mean, we all know how the first one went, so we kind of already know who the killer is. But shock twist, it ain't the same. So yeah, when you have these people freaking coming at you, if you're in these sort of situations where Ghostface could freaking turn up anywhere, I mean, I preferred Ghostface killing with just the knife at first. But yeah, then after they're freaking unmasked, that's when they pull or switch it up and start going after you with guns and shit. And it's like, stick with the knives. You're better. But yeah, the first movie was great. It's like, you sick fucks. You've seen way too many movies. No, Sid, don't blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative. And that is true. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative. Skeet Ulrich had one of the most compelling lines in that movie. It really is insane. Yeah, it is hard to find, or it is hard to survive against somebody who can warp reality at will. Getting to other killers and whatnot. I mean, when you got somebody like or Norman Bates, I mean, it was really straightforward with him. He was just a psycho killer that felt the urge to kill anybody who came to the hotel, essentially. And he was driven nuts by his mom because he wanted to leave, but his mom wouldn't let him. And I've only seen the original Psycho plus the remake that came like 40 years later. And it's like, good movies. However, I would have preferred, or I like the original one better. However, the dude that played Norman Bates, man, can't remember his name, but the guy that played Norman Bates, when he shows up dressed up like Norma Bates, his mother, I'm thinking, when did Jim Carrey jump into this film? Because he sort of looked like Jim Carrey in that getup. And it's like, holy crap, man. But moving to like another great horror, like Halloween with Michael Myers. I mean, one of the biggest mistakes they did was they made him superhuman. He was originally just a psychopath who you could shoot and he would die originally. However, because he was so much driven by a lust to kill originally, you didn't understand his motive. Not to mention when he's moving around, he's tilting his head and whatnot. Plus, the mask betrays no emotion. I mean, my favorite slashers are Scream and Friday the 13th. Awesome, man. And hello to Phantom's War. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. If you like the video, folks, smash that like button. Also, if you like my content, I put out entertainment news content as much as I can. When interesting stuff comes down, I try to put it out as best as I can. Vince Vaughn, yeah. Or Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck, I'm guessing, is the original one. But Vince Vaughn was the remake one. And yikes, man. He was a little bit more creepy. Vince Vaughn was a little bit more creepier because he was peeking through and little fireman time on his account, which was, it's like, I don't really need to see a killer doing that. What the fuck, man? But yeah, getting back to it though. Oh, hold on. Saw another comment. What do you think of the early 2000s Halloween remakes? I thought they were okay. Or if you're talking about the Rob Zombie ones, Carrie, I'll answer that in a second, Chet Sparks. If you're talking about the Rob Zombie ones, Phantom's War, I thought they were good to a degree. It showed that Michael Myers was clearly disturbed as a kid. They basically put in a level of psychopathy already in him as a child, where in the original, you don't understand why he did it. He just grabbed a freaking pair of scissors or a knife and he just slaughtered his sister. And then he was put into a psych ward for 20 odd years. But as for the earlier ones, the 2001s or the early 2000s, if you're talking about the Rob Zombies, I thought they were okay. However, they did kind of creep me out a bit, especially when he's eating the fucking dog. That was a bit whoa. But as for the Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection, yikes. I'm just going to say yikes on those ones. I mean, you had good talent in the movies, but yikes. And LL Cool J survived, so yeah. Carrie. Does Carrie count as a slasher film? Carrie was telekinetic. So, I don't know if I would call that slasher. I would call her a monster because she's more telekinetic. She's more unearthly, so to speak. Even though she is a human, she has powers. She's more monsterish, or she's more monstrous than anything. Then his mom killed herself after, him snapping and choking on her. Yeah. I mean, there's some good stuff in the Rob Zombie ones. Then there's some that aren't so good, you know? What about the infamous scene where Busta Rhymes from the Kung Fu Mafia? You want to know what's more iconic than that one, Jet Sparks? Is when Busta Rhymes is dressed up as Michael Myers and he's bitching at Michael Myers. That was more freaking iconic because he's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You're not Michael Myers. I'm Michael Myers. Go, scoot, skedaddle. Get the fuck out of Dodge. And Michael Myers just turns around and leaves. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, that was one of the most weirdest, but also iconic kind of scenes. But Michael Myers as a killer, one of the things I did like about the 2018 and the 2019 Halloween Kills was that this dude was relentless. He was not, or he also didn't discriminate. And I remember, folks, when I was reporting on or doing my reviews back in the day, when I was Orange Hat Reviews instead of just Orange Hat, I was doing the live review with the spoiler review for Halloween Kills. And I said, the LGBTQ community is going to lose their minds. 1 week later, they lost their minds. Michael Myers is homophobic. Michael Myers killed gay people. He's a homophobe. And all that other horse shit. And it's like, he's not a homophobe. He's killing everybody. Just when he killed that black chick, does that make him a racist? When he killed the white person, well, it's okay to kill white people, right? But yeah, you kill two gay people. Homophobe. It's like, fuck off. Another good killer from this menagerie of lists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 killers. I think I already showed all of them, but Michael Myers, out of all of these guys, Michael Myers is my favorite. Out of the Miner from My Bloody Valentine, Norman Bates from Psycho, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, Ghostface, Ben Willis, the Veteran, and Michael Myers. Michael Myers is definitely my favorite because he has creative kills. He displays them to terrorize people. And he just keeps coming. I mean, it's very hard to kill the man. They chopped they shot him, they stabbed him, they beat the hell out of him, and he has what's known as that recharge factor where he's dormant for a second and then he gets right back up and just starts killing again. it happened in Halloween Kills. And that's where I started having a problem with it, objectively speaking, because there was that statement by the newer directors that we are not doing the same thing that everybody else did, which was making him some sort of superhuman monster. No, we are taking the superhuman element out of it. But then they go and have him literally get the shit beat out of him, shot, stabbed, and all that stuff. And yet he gets back up and starts killing again. I'm sorry. That's weird. That's weird. Because they just basically said, well, we're not doing that, but then they do it. Now, as much as I liked the 2008 Halloween movie, and I do like the 2018 Halloween movie, and then I like the 2019 Halloween Kills. Halloween Ends, I had some problems with. Halloween Ends, I had some problems with, because you had it was a passing the torch kind of thing that didn't really pass the torch. And it wasn't even Michael doing most of the killing. He did like 2 or 3 kills in that movie. I think at most. He killed that one dude, and then he killed the other one. Or Corey brought Michael Myers a kill, and then Michael Myers went out and killed another person, and then he kills Corey. And that's it. And then and then Corey tries killing him. He's like, you're nothing but a man in a mask. And it's like, you're about to find out what that man in a mask can do. Oh, wait. Yeah. Michael Myers also killed that girl too. So 3 or 4 people. Yeah. 2 or 3 or 4 people. Yeah. But Michael Myers, the OG Michael Myers, going around taking he took a crowbar to the face in the 2018 one. Dude literally cracks him across the face, and it's like, I'm sorry, if anybody gets cracked across the face, they're going to back up a little bit, you know? And a lot of people don't point this out in their reviews when they do or I've seen these huge channels that are horror centered folks, where they're talking about the 2018 movie. And when the guy brings out the mask in the beginning of the movie, they say that Michael Myers showed no reaction. But in fact, he did. When he goes, that little jerk, that little look back for a second, that was a reaction. He sensed that mask. But then he didn't want to betray that he sensed it. He wanted to keep that facade going. But yeah, Michael Myers is honestly the best slasher film killer in my book. I mean, yeah, you got Freddy Krueger who comes after you in your dreams, but it's easy to kill somebody, or it's easy to lose yourself in that one, especially when the killer is essentially invincible. You have no way of killing him, because you kill him in all these at the end of each of these movies, but yet he keeps coming back. So you didn't really kill him. So it kind of hurts the franchise the most. Then you got Jason Voorhees. He's a freaking zombie. It's hard to kill him. At least as much as I didn't really like Halloween Ends, at least they put him in a freaking industrial crusher and ended his body, completely destroying it all. But the problem is, did his evil die? You know? His evil was like a virus where people were just killing themselves left and right. And it kind of took the element out of it. There was just so much wrong with Halloween Ends, although there were some decent scenes and creative kills. But for the most part, it's like, nah. But Jason Voorhees, he has the most creative kills, and he's relentless like Michael Myers. I would love to see Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees. Not the zombie Jason, but the living Jason. And I would also like to take out the recharge factor from Michael Myers. If you put those two up against each other, Jason versus Michael, non-zombie, pure serial killer, I would love it. But yeah, when it comes to other things, or when it does come to the slashers, let's see here. Where's the pictures? Yeah. This one was also relentless, but it was never a defined character. They were, or the characters, or Ghostface was always a different character in each movie. There was never one in which Ghostface carried forward as a killer. And that was the main flaw of the Scream franchise. I would have liked it if they had ended after the first one. The second one, okay, you went a little bit further. You did a good movie. Stop there. No, we had to do the trilogy rules. Okay, fine. You did a trilogy. You can stop now. Reboot time. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's interesting. Okay. Great line in the end. Don't fuck with the original. But then it's like, okay, now let it die. Nope. They had to do a fifth one in which they attacked us, the fans, who care about consistency and stuff like that. And they basically said, we're serial killers. We are psychotic serial killers. I think they'd be best buds. Robot Chicken definitely perfectly demonstrated that. It took two horror icons to make their shenanigans and murder surprisingly wholesome. Wow. But yeah, folks, what time is it? 1:35-ish. So yeah, 1:32-ish. But yeah, the things that I do remember back in the 90s, folks, when slasher horrors were coming out hard. I mean, you had your Jason, you had your Freddy, you had your Minor, and you had all the ones. There was that little bit of breathing room in the 90s. Then came Scream, and then came I Know What You Did Last Summer, and people were like, "Do we really want to revive the slasher genre?" And it's like, if you can do it original or with some originality, sure. But yeah, man, I remember all that stuff. But then I also looked back, did some research on how much Jason and Freddy and them really shook people. They scared the hell out of people. They got a little bit too nuts with it. And people were like, well, grow a spine. And that's great too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, people should grow spines. It's important for walking and stuff. But people were also, or 5 and 6 really hammered home that the final girl is the daughter of Billy Loomis. I saw 5. I will not see 6. After 5, when they basically called me and all the fans out there of franchises, serial killers, and psychos with their messaging, yeah, I had no reason to continue watching it. So I will not watch the 6th one. I don't care. I won't, or they could bring back Nev Campbell. I don't care. The trilogy is where it stopped for me. But honestly, Jenna Ortega was also a standout in 6, but I guess I'm just saying that because I think she's cute. A lot of people think that Jenna Ortega is cute. She's also a psychopath. Everybody likes Jenna Ortega because, oh, she's the new hot thing. She's a psychopath. She supports terrorism. In my opinion, that's kind of a turnoff. But that's me just giving my thoughts on Jenna Ortega. But Ghostface, if Ghostface was an actual defined person and not many people, I would think that there was actually a good story to tell behind him. But yeah, Michael Myers, he's the one that does it for me, man. I like the original, and I like and I do like, and I told, and I said, or God damn it, where was I? Right, Michael Myers. I like the first one. I like the second one, but I also like the 2018 one. That one was actually good. I liked it. They should have stopped with that though. They should have stopped. Okay, he died or he disappeared for 40 years, got arrested, and then he came back after 40 years. Well, okay. You did your hard reset. You left him burning in a house where there's no chance he would survive. But then the frickin' fire people show or he gets out through them. But yeah, I think that when it comes to the best killer, it is Michael Myers. Jason Voorhees is a close second, though, because he is far more creative. And third, angling it out, is definitely Freddy Krueger. They are the top 3 slashers in my book. Everybody else pales in comparison. They basically use them as inspiration. I mean, Leatherface was... I saw some things or clips here and there. I never really saw a full Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And I think that they were okay, but just weird. But anyway, folks, this is about the time where I do start wrapping it up because I don't really go far with the theme streams. And I will or you guys are probably wondering what the next one is anyway. So next one, you guys are definitely going to notice next week, you are going to notice a different shift about how my excitement is for, well, this one we did slashers. Next one is paranormal. We getting into the things that scare me most, folks. Paranormal is where horror scares me most. And I don't say that lightly. It's the paranormal stuff that hits me the most. And I'll explain why next week. But I do want to thank everybody who was in the chat, Jet Sparks, Phantoms War, Vanya, as well as the other people who may have been on X. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all are awesome. What was this last one that you said? But I also think her co-star on Wednesday, Emma Myers, is going to have her chance at to shine in the adaptation of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, yes, where she tries to solve a cold case murder. Okay, cool. But yes, thank you to everybody who tuned in. Y'all are freaking awesome and amazing people. Next week is going to round out the July streams with paranormal horror, and we'll see where it goes from there. I will come up with an idea for August. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go and check out some family event stuff. My niece and nephew are probably going to have some soccer today because it's starting to look a lot sunnier out. So, yeah, I'm going to go out and visit family. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see you tonight on the Barroom Podcast on Society Reviews channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. So, yep, see y'all there. And always remember, stay humble.